Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wednesday Words. Last week I talked about the 2022 Open Doors USA World Watch List, which, along with other ministries like the latest edition of the Voice of the Martyrs print edition, alerts Christians, opens the eyes of Christians in America and other places in the world to the realities that many Christians face elsewhere in the world, where it is most costly to follow Jesus out in the open. Consider this: the worst year for the persecution of Christians was 2021. The worst year before that was 2020. The worst year before that was 2019. The trend is obvious. And while there are several sources of persecution, two stand out. The first is extremist Islamic oppression, such as is in Afghanistan and Pakistan. The second is secular intolerance of religion. That's when the state elevates itself to the place of God and does not tolerate any competition. North Korea and China fit that category. Why does this matter? Well, first of all, we need to be praying for our brothers and sisters who are under pressure of persecution in other parts of the world. They're part of our family. We need to pray more intelligently for them. Second, we need to take seriously the cause of religious freedom everywhere in the world. We need to take religious liberty seriously here in America, because when we have religious freedom, we can care about and support others' religious freedom. When we don't have religious freedom, then there's no one else to advocate for religious freedom in other parts of the world. Well, just a few weeks ago, I was blessed, and I know some other folks at Ephesus were blessed to meet someone who has experienced that first source of persecution that I mentioned in Pakistan. His name is Reverend Dr. Baber George. Years ago, he was imprisoned for being in a gang war, and there in prison met the Lord. He became a Christian. He joined the Full Gospel Church, went to Bible school, and joined the organization Operation Mobilization to share the gospel with non-Christians. He set up new churches and helped to organize missions and conferences in stadiums, as well as social projects that assisted the poor and uneducated. He became a peace ambassador for the organization Interfaith Harmony and spoke out against the persecution of Christians. Well, this upset some extremist Muslims who accused him of blaspheming against Islam. His home was attacked and demolished. The police refused to assist him, and a fatwa, a death sentence, was issued by radical Muslims against him, his wife, and his 3 children in October of 2011. They fled for their lives to Sri Lanka. While waiting for the United Nations to arrange asylum for them and unable to work, the family relied on sympathetic Christians and organizations such as the Barnabas Fund to pay their rent and provide food. They also lived among other Christian refugees who had to flee Pakistan. After 40 months in Sri Lanka, Baber George and his family were finally given asylum in the United States of America. In fact, God led Pastor George and his family right here to our own area, and he has been attending Ephesus for the last several weeks. In our area, he operates a home improvement contracting business, but he also works to plant new churches, mainly for those who have fled persecution in other parts of the world. This past Sunday morning, just before I went to the worship service, he texted me. He said 2 Christian pastors were attacked a few hours ago in the city of Peshawar in Pakistan. These pastors had been serving at All Saints Church, the same church that had been attacked in a suicide blast in September 2013, killing 127 people and injuring more than 175. Today, after the Sunday service, these pastors were on their way home when an unknown militant opened fire. One died on the spot. The other is in critical condition in the hospital. He said, please pray for that situation. I just spoke with their administration in Pakistan, and they need our prayers. And I just urge all of you who are listening and watching to pray as we pray through our church, individually, the church where you are if you're listening elsewhere. And I'm reminded we've been in Psalm 91 a good bit of the first few weeks of 2022. And I find myself going back there, only this time to verses 1 and 2, which read, "Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust Him." We can trust Him because He alone is our firm foundation. Will you sing with me one of my very favorite hymns, How Firm a Foundation? How firm a foundation, ye saints of the Lord, is laid for your faith in His excellent word. What more can He say than to you He hath said, to you for refuge to Jesus have fled? Fear not, I am with thee, oh be not dismayed, for I am thy God, and will still give thee aid. I'll strengthen thee, help thee, and cause thee to stand, upheld by my righteous omnipotent hand. When through the deep waters I call thee to know, the rivers of sorrow shall not overflow. For I will be with thee, thy troubles to bless, and sanctify to thee thy deepest distress. The soul that on Jesus hath leaned for repose, I will not desert to his foes. That soul, though all hell should endeavor to shake, I'll never, no, never, no, never forsake. I'll never, no, never, no, never forsake. When through the deep waters I call thee to know, the rivers of sorrow shall not overflow. For I will be with thee, thy troubles to bless, and sanctify to thee thy deepest distress. The soul that on Jesus hath leaned for repose, I will not desert to his foes. That soul, though all hell should endeavor to shake, I'll never, no, never, no, never forsake. you.